Hey, it's Mark Marsh from MTC Media. Georgetown returns to Capital One Arena after almost a week off to face Jackson State. Last weekend, the Hoyas defeated Mount St. Mary's and American University on back-to-back days. Georgetown is now 3-2 on the season. Jackson State comes in at 1-5, but the one win is a really good one. In their last outing, Jackson State came away with a 73-72 win at Missouri, pure road win, and it's a win that got Coach Ed Cooley's attention. Have you had a chance to take a look at Jackson State, and if so, what has jumped out to you?
What's jumped out to me is, their athleticism, their tenacity defensively. I mean, this will be their seventh road game. I think their first 13 games were on the road, which is a challenge. So they've played against high major teams before. Obviously coming off of a great win at Missouri. I think they have one of the best players we've played against, an individual player that we've played against, who could score it at all three levels. Coach has done a great job. They have an NBA offensive style. It's pretty free-flowing. So we got to get rid of our mistakes. And I said this earlier, with this portal recruiting, and you have so many teams that don't have any synergy and continuity right now, right? So you have all these, my bad moments. Oh, I forgot this. Oh. So you see the teams that don't have those are probably some of the better teams in the country because they have carryover chemistry and they have continuity amongst the players. So that's we've made so many mistakes in our first 5 games. I don't even know how many games we played, that we got to get rid of those moments. A block out here, a missed switch here, transition defense here, a missed screen here. Like, that's just going to take some time for us. And Jackson State hasn't had all that. And I think their last 2 games they played their best basketball.
Over the last few seasons, this is the type of game that would go down to the end or even end up being a Georgetown loss. So we're going to have to see how prepared they are today. The Hoyas have been aided by transfers in year 1. Dontrez Styles and Jaden Epps have been key starters, and Cam Bacote has been big down the stretch of games, giving head coach Ed Cooley a veteran presence on the floor. Had a chance to speak to all 3 earlier this week in 3 separate interviews. You've come here, you have an increased role, obviously, you're dependent on a lot. What has that transition been like, going from 2 years of playing more of a reserve role to being one of the guys?
Man, it's been great. It's going fantastic. I really can't complain. I thank Coach Cooley and Coach Staff for the opportunity they're giving me. Just come in here and just be me, be myself, and just be one of the guys. And I really can't complain. I love it here.
What would be the advice you would give guys like yourself coming out of high school? You get to one place and it's not a quick transition. How do you hang in there, mentally, physically, and what's going on the court, staying engaged? What advice would you give?
I would just say, man, keep working. Just push your head down. It's going to be tough, but just keep working hard, trusting God and trusting the process. It was very tough for me, but I got through it, and I'm where I needed to be, where I wanted to be, so it's going great.
So just the team as a whole, you guys are 5 games in. What are some of the things that you were surprised about, with this group that they've done so well?
I would just say I knew we could have great effort, but we fight, man. Like last game, we fought to the very end, and the Rutgers game, I feel like it was a tough game for us, but we just kept fighting. I feel like we were battle tested, and we're gonna keep getting better from now.
Right now, are you guys more concerned about doing the things right for Georgetown more than the opponent right now, or is there a lot of game planning for specific opponents?
It's kind of a mix of both. Just trying to figure out what our opponent do well and do whatever we need for this program to get back on track. And I feel like every day we're doing that. We're consistently working hard every day and get ready to win the next game.
What would you right now tell high school you as far as your process and your journey?
I'm a tough kid. I'm battle tested. You know, I've been through it all, seen it all, the highs and lows, and just like I'm a tough kid. I give all that to my faith in God. So.
Cool, awesome. Hey, what's it been like, making transition? It seems like you're handling the ball an awful lot, and I've seen you get frustrated with yourself at times. What has the ball handling responsibilities been like for you?
It's been good. I feel like at the end of the day, that's my job. I'm the point guard of the team. I'm the lead guard, so I just gotta take the mistakes with the mistakes and grow. I've been watching a lot of film with coach, learning how to do certain things, being the lead guard. So I just feel like I'm gonna make mistakes here and there, and I just gotta take the punches, and I just gotta keep learning and keep growing.
And how does, working through those mistakes, how do you ensure that it doesn't take away from confidence and take away from the strengths that you naturally have?
Actually, Coach Cooley has helped me with that a lot. He let me play through my mistakes. He talks to me. He corrects me. Even though he might get on me sometimes, I know that it's coming from a place of love. And like I said, he let me play through my mistakes at the end of the day. So I feel like just knowing I got someone on the sideline that believes in me like that, it helps me keep my confidence.
Now, you're shooting. We saw it on full display. Just has that always been the type of player you've been, a guy that can fill it up at a moment's notice?
I would say, yeah, my teammates trusted in me. They were finding me. Coach kept dialing my number up. So he always tells if he dials your number up, deliver. So and if you're hot, he's going to keep coming to you. So I feel like it was just one of those nights.
And defensively, transferring in here, are there differences between where you come from to here? Is it almost the same schematically? What has that adjustment been like?
It's just been having effort on defense. Coach always stresses us. It's just a will and a want. You got to want to guard somebody. You got to want to be tough on defense. And I make mistakes here and there, but I'm learning and I'm working and I'm getting better. And I feel like Coach always says, it's just a will and a want. You got to want to guard.
Talk about the experience, having been in college for a while, that you bring to this particular team.
I feel like just all my years of college, I've seen a lot. Throughout all the games, all the practices, all the different coaching staffs, taking something from each place I've been at. So I just feel like I can offer a wealth of experience.
And talk a little bit about the process of when you transfer, getting used to a new system, a new school, a new set of classics, new teammates. What does that process look like?
Well, it was kind of easy for me because this wasn't the first time I transferred. I had transferred 2 times before. So the only thing that was different was just that this was a new staff. And, they were getting adjusted as well. So I'm just figuring that stuff out. They made a smooth transition and everything just worked out very well.
And having played at a public school, you played at Bethel in a competitive part of the state. What is it like basketball-wise to play down there against so many good players?
I think that's just something like everybody just thrives off competitiveness. And, everybody's just super competitive in that area. And it's just like a pride thing. You just want to compete against your friends, people you've been growing up against, and just, want to come out on top.
One of the things that Cooley has raved about is his staff and their ability to develop players. With a recruiting class that has some recruiting outlets, having them in the top 10, the staff will have a chance to prove that that's a strength in rebuilding Georgetown to where they once were. Player development along with playing time will give Cooley a chance to keep the young players out of the portal, something that former head coach Patrick Ewing could not do. One of the players already on campus and that has shown improvement under Cooley's staff is freshman Drew Fielder. He spoke about the jump from high school to Georgetown. What is the collegiate workload like in comparison to high school, not only from a basketball perspective, but also from an academic perspective?
It's a lot. I went to a prep school where at SoCal Academy, we were working really hard, but we were just we were putting, almost all of our time into basketball, and I wasn't just expecting, this much, especially, being committed to a different school and then having a coach change, and I wasn't prepared, for Georgetown type of academics. So it's a lot, but we've adjusted and they have so much support for us. So it's a lot, but definitely feel like we can handle it.
On the court, what has been some of the adjustments that you've had to make and some of the differences that you've noticed that you've had to get better at?
I mean, my whole life, I've only switched 5 ways. That's the only way I played. But in college, there's so much different little ways, different ways, 3 to the ball, chasing. I've never had to chase a screen before. So it's just all those little minute details, taking the game to just such little details I've never had to even think about before. I think that's been the biggest adjustment, is figuring out all the different defenses rather than just switching everything all the time.
What do you think that you've gotten better at in your short time here? You've only played 5 games, but where have you seen progress in your game?
I think just seeing the details and noticing them makes my IQ. I'm just seeing the game a little bit different. Obviously, the biggest adjustment has been the physicality. I feel like I've been getting more adjusted to that. I feel like I've gotten, even though I have a lot more progress to make, I feel like I've gotten a lot better guarding the ball and on defense, for sure. I have a long way to go, but definitely I feel like I've gotten a lot better.
Keys for Georgetown tonight: can't turn the ball over. Jackson State forced 18 turnovers in the Missouri game. Georgetown has had an issue turning the ball over as Epps, along with Rowan Brumbaugh, continue to serve as the Hoyas' main primary ball handlers. Per KenPom, Georgetown is 284th in turnover percentage. Play at a comfortable pace. Georgetown would like to play fast, but it can't be chaotic. There will be a delicate balance between the two. The Hoyas team cannot spend 40 minutes playing in half court either, so transition and secondary transition become very important. It also means that Georgetown, a team that has very little room for error, must have a high efficiency in both. Simply put, Georgetown can't throw away possessions. And last but not least, who's the fifth? The lion's share of the lineup combinations have had Styles, Epps, Cook, and Brumbaugh. The fifth player on the floor has fluctuated. 20% of the time it's been Heath with those 4, but Heath has been dinged up, so we'll have to see how much he'll play in this game. The other 3 bring different things. Wayne Bristol tries to be a 3-and-D type of player. Drew Fielder provides Georgetown with an inside-out presence, while Cam Bacote is a veteran that serves as a steadying force. If Jackson State really puts a lot of pressure on Georgetown and the Hoyas get rattled with pace and turnovers, I would think that Bacote would be the guy who would get the lion's share of the minutes. Time will tell. Georgetown-Jackson State scheduled for tip-off at noon on FS2.